There's a lot of issues. There's a lot of dangers. Maybe we should, but we're not there right now. Well, that's the Galactic storm going on right now. All right, folks. We are back with the Grand Campaign. Been around a week as usual. Well, I'll do a little overview kind of where we're at as usual, and then we'll jump into things. So currently this is the presidency of Bonda Naksheen, who was the commander who led the sometimes 500,000 to 1 million plus sized Marine and Army forces that took the Worlds of the Chosen. There's a race of fanatical purifiers that we fought a war with to essentially stop their threat. We took a number of their worlds and systems, but most of their core systems we gave back to them and formed the Maronian Confederation, which is a congressional republic built much like our own government. It has a very similar constitution that we are trying to stabilize. Bonda Naksheen was our chief general who basically conquered almost all of their worlds and led men into slaughter, but won the war for us. He did win the election after the previous president stepped down. She is immortal and ran for 5 terms. So she led the uni for 50 years before term limits were put in place in the uni constitution and charter, meaning she had to step down and cannot return, leading to our first new president in quite some time, Bonda Naksheen. He's a militarist. He's very capable. He's psionic, like most of our leaders are at this point, and very capable, very competent. I always forget, Bonda Naksheen's a female. They're rocks. It's very hard to tell, you know, but she's very competent. So that's our current leader. We also currently have a very large and much expanded federation. The United Nations of Space, founded by us, with the Gavazul to our south, these guys, and the Architrix to the north, who we interceded and fought a very, very deadly war to save from being vassalized, formed the United Nations of Space in order to basically safeguard our own nations, a collective security pact, diplomatic cooperation, much deeper economic ties. 3 signatories to start with. In recent years, with the rise of galactic politics as a much bigger part of every nation's goals and just general policy, the UNS has expanded quite dramatically. There was a reform instituted, several. We have medium Federation fleets now, which are really big, but we also changed it so that basically voting on new members would be a majority vote. It didn't need to be unanimous. And as a result of that, which we did vote for, many new nations have been added. Not everyone's happy with the terms, but at present we have the Uni, that's us, the Gavazul, the Architrix, all the original signatories. We have the Salvation Protocol, which is a driven assimilator AI species. We have the Sundas Genius Locus, which is a hive mind, who basically likes to take on traits of other species. Fairly peaceful, fairly cooperative. It also includes the Union of Dorvan Socialist Republics, which is very weak. They were one of our largest trading partners and one of the strongest powers in the eastern portion of the galaxy until they were absolutely slaughtered by the Boki warrior clans, resulting in them now only having several worlds left, but they are in our federation for protection. The Savanian Multitude, which is a hive mind. They're very friendly, very nice. We have the Confederation, which is the purifiers that we have now turned into a republic, have taken under our wing and are attempting to stabilize. And then we have the Commonwealth of Gleesmingo, which we would be very unhappy about them being in our federation. They are fanatic xenophiles, but they're also fanatic authoritarians. It's a police state, essentially, and a cult. They got in because everyone else voted for them except us, and I think one other group. So the federation has grown quite dramatically. It's very influential. But on the other hand, another very large federation has also appeared in the northern quadrant of the galaxy for the most part. Where are you? Fairly large. So it's the name of it. I know the Craiova right now. The Mutual Assistance Coalition, made up of the Craiova, the Union Con League, the Aspinakin Sovereignty, the Mecha Imperium, the Regal House, the Interstellar Cerosian Foundation, Shatarian Manufacturing, which is the Biocorp to our south, which we actually are very good friends with, ironically, and then Bliss Limited. So the big players being the Regal House, they are very dictatorial, very dangerous, and then the Cerosians, which are probably the most powerful civilization in the galaxy. Not because their fleet is particularly larger than anyone else, not because they have more people, but because their level of science is just so far ahead of everyone else that it's kind of on another level. Now, these two Federation blocks are not explicitly hostile with one another. There's no great enmity, there's no great hatred or anything like that, but they are very different ideologically, and they obviously sit in very different regions of the galaxy, and as a result are probably the dominant factors in galactic politics as a whole at this point, right? They're pretty important kind of rise in modern galactic politics there. So those are just some of like the major factors that'll be defining kind of the game as it proceeds forward. The other two things you can see right here, actually both of them, is the L cluster has been opened and we now do own it. We're building up a massive station to guard the terminal egress, and we have taken almost all the other systems in the L cluster. The Drake spawned out of that. And then of course, the Great Khan. Out of one of the marauding groups in the northern eastern portion of the galaxy, the Marauders united under a great psionic general who has dramatically expanded his holdings in the region, as well as forcing the Sadrian Union into becoming a satrapy, and is a ever-growing present threat. Thankfully, we will not have to deal with it first. For now, it will be the problem of the surrounding nations as well as the other Federation, but it could quickly grow to become a much bigger problem. So those are some of the biggest changes. And of course, our legendary Paragon, Kides, Scion of Vagros, where is he? Is still looking for the other pieces of his long-lost relic. Show him very quickly. We have a couple really nice Paragons. Let's show him this way, actually. Kides, Scion of Vagros. So, that's where we're at. I'm glad that the Dying Sun did not die in this game. Nope, they are still very much around. They had another slave revolt, but they put that down very quickly, and they're back to their usual very, very strong position. They also, if they move quickly, will maybe be able to get into some of this unclaimed space, but we'll see. An orphan gate. What was that? A gate deliberately altered to be disconnected from the galactic network. Never seen that before. I do have a mod on that changes the L cluster quite dramatically. So anyway, that's where we're at. We're going to continue on here. This is the presidency of Bondan Nakshin. And we are going to just continue to try and expand our holdings, expand the economy, forge new worlds, grow the military. We have upgraded basically all our bordering stations, with the exception of the terminal egress, which we're working on right now. And we're in a very good position. She is very militaristic, as I said, very... I don't want to say warlike. I don't think she'd explicitly be a warmonger, but we're not going to shy away from a war. We almost fought one a little bit ago with the Shagadian Union, which had invaded and was attacking the Ketling Star Pack, a really nice science directorate. The vote of our Federation failed, and we did not go to war with them. And as a result, they declared themselves for the Great Khan and are now a satrapy as well, the Great Khan, to try and survive that war, which did result in them not being attacked anymore. Everyone is terrified of the Great Khan for obvious reasons. He is quite freaking terrifying. I don't think there's many projects left, but I'm going to run them just in case. How's everyone doing today, by the way? How's everyone's week been? How's your weekend going? Anything good happening for anyone? Okay, looks about good. And then our military. We were doing that fleet exercise on the border with those who remember the dark, and we did lose a bunch of our battleships to that giant solar storm currently, which is raging across the galaxy. So we're going to try and rebuild the rest of our battleships in our fleet there. That'll take a little bit of time, but build upgrades before we start as well. Oh, the new worlds and colonies that will be made soon. And a tennis lesson. Nice. Have you played tennis for a while, or are you like just learning it? We are very low on jobs. My gosh, we'll build another industrial district. Oh, the crystal farm too. Those would be pretty nice. We need a lot more of those rare materials. They're so good for trading with other nations at this point of the game. Ah. I bet the jobs aren't filled. Nope. Just need more people. Simple as that. everything else looks pretty good for the most part here. Plenty of jobs, we just need more pops, really. So it's been for quite a while now. We obviously are completely open to refugees, and as a result, we tend to get quite a lot of them. And we've been growing pretty quickly due to that, so that'll be met with time. All right, let's get going. I do wonder if any blocks will be made in stance to the new blocks forming. Oh, you mean like a third federation or something? It could happen. There's still a lot of unaligned powers in the galaxy, so we might. Oh, we can build the Juggernaut now. I'd say there's a pretty good chance of it, Orion. I would say so. All right, we got the Juggernaut tech. We're gonna work on building one of those immediately. I'm sure Bonna Naqshin is very happy, very, very, very happy to be hearing that we can do that. She seems like the type who, I don't know, it really, I want to say grinds her gears, but that's not right because she's a rock. I couldn't think of a good pun, but we'll just pretend I had one. All right, we need to build the, what's it called? There's a specific building you need for this, isn't there? Colossal assembly yards. We need to be a citadel. Okay, so we need 2,000 more alloys. We'll be a little patient on that, but as soon as we get them, we are going to build the colossal assembly. We'll go citadel, build the colossal assembly yards, and then we'll build the Juggernaut. Take a little while. We also are hemorrhaging fucking energy. My gosh. Let's look for a trade deal here. We've got all our commercial packs, so we'll try for just explicit like trading for goods. Thinking probably for crystals, because we're producing so many of those. They're pretty valuable right now. Wow. A lot of broke bitches in the galaxy, I forgot. Maybe some of the other Federation members. There we go. Vermilia tends to be pretty wealthy, if I remember right. No, they are not. Holy crap. Just learning. Nice. Hell yeah, dude. I played a lot of tennis when I was younger, actually. It's a lot of fun. It's just like, you know, a much larger version of ping pong, really, you know. Holy crap, everyone is broke. The Sorosians have to have energy. Yeah, okay. Not that much, actually. That'll help a little bit. We're gonna have to sell some things, probably. I'm gonna go ahead and, ooh. Now you want to go to war with the Shagodians. Are you kidding me? We pushed for this long ago. We could have saved the Ketlings and you pussies said no. I mean, we're not gonna say no as Bonna Naqshin, but still. I will do edits. It won't be a humiliation war. We're gonna convert them into a democracy and reorganize their government. That's what we'll try and do if we win this. We will vote yes. Can we do minor artifact reverse engineering yet? I don't think so. No, not yet. We used it not too long ago. Humans don't have gears either. They might grind those of the Warframe. Alloy Foundry. This is an Ixion soundtrack. Been reading a really good book this week. I've got like 6 books going at once right now. There's like 3 books in my bag I take to work and I read. And then I've got like 3 books I'm working on at home that are really good. But one of the ones I'm reading that's really cool is about, it's a biography of Queen Elizabeth, the Queen of England, through like, you know, I don't want to say the golden age. I don't think that's quite right. When England was like starting to really decline after like Henry VIII and a couple of really bad leaders, she came in and ruled for a long fucking time, like 1560, I want to say, until like 1610. Really pinnacle period though, when like Asia trade was kind of being disrupted. She fought like, you know, a couple wars with the Spanish, and then obviously essentially like brought England back from the precipice of being irrelevant and became such a powerful naval power and trading power. Really interesting woman though. A lot of things I just didn't know about her. Like she was really good at, like, she never married, she never had kids, and the reasoning for that is really debated. But she essentially used the prospect of marriage constantly to like stop people from attacking her and like play all the powers in Europe off each other. It was really funny. Which is crazy considering she was like not technically a Protestant, but certainly not a devout Catholic. Did they refuse the war? Yes, they did. Skip this. The uninteresting ones I'm gonna start skipping. We've seen a lot of these. I really don't understand how the Mecha Imperium has this. A wormhole, okay. Ori. Is this the Rubricator event? It might be, I think. I want kill bots. What the fuck is this? Mecha Imperium's got some interesting things going on, that's for sure. Yeah, actually, did we go to war? I don't think we did. No. Nope. That's the problem with how quickly the UNS has expanded with all these new members. A lot of them are like freaking authoritarians and stuff as well, so they don't want to go to war, which is really unfortunate. And we have an election already coming up that quickly? Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first poll of the day. We have the elections of 2354. We have running for re-election, obviously. London. No, Sheen. We have Antonio Mendes cannot run again, obviously. We'll throw in Comdem Foom will run again. Remember, he was the one who opened the L gate when he wasn't supposed to. Evergreen Ficomont. The heir of the Ficomont family, who are the sovereigns of the American Archduchy on Earth. Well, Angelo Torres run as well. John Torres died. That was the other great Torres commander. I don't know how, but she did die at some point. Here's a cool background. I think we'll leave it there. 4 options. You are all welcome to vote for our next president. Bondanukshin obviously being the incumbent here. I'll do a 3-minute poll on that one. A little bit of time to think here. The hyper relay disaster. Oh my gosh, yeah, when we lost all those battleships, that was John Torres's fleet, so he didn't make it through. It's unfortunate. There's 26 days left. I'll just run it all slow for now. Every time I hear Mecha Imperium, I think of the Mecha Imperium for a second. What is that, Salmon? Yeah, we've got a lot of really good leaders. We've cultivated top-tier talent in the UNE. Have the last of it. Did we start building a... We're going to build a habitat here, by the way, and this is going to be the center of the fleet. Yeah, we did build it. An Naily habitat complex. All right, cool. Let's colonize that. We're going to build the center for the UNE fleet to be in the Naily system, which is in the L cluster. So we'll be able to deploy it to the galaxy very quickly. We will obviously colonize it with humans. If we can. We can. What's the name for the habitat, like the big habitated region that will be like basically the center for the UNE fleet, folks? Any good ideas for that? Build the orbitals for. Do I need to do that before, like, we colonize it, Johnny? An empire centered on Mecha. Heaven? It's a little too on the nose. Do we need to build the orbitals? Let me check. So Central complex, major orbital. Yeah, guess we kind of have to. Okay, they just automatically, wait, do they automatically do it? You can build it on other celestial bodies. That's freaking cool. Okay. So we'll just build like other habitation around like the rest of the stars in the system. But yeah. Migration pack offered from the Empire of the Dying Sun. We haven't reconciled that much with them. In recent memory, they still did like arrest our scientists. Angelo Torres. Damn. Okay. Angelo Torres it will be. Need to go a bunch of Unity for this. We have 81,000 to start off with. There we go. Angelo Torres will win the election then. The famed commander who led the forces of, not led, he was one of the major commanders in the war with the Chosen. He was way too young to have fought in the war, those who remember though. So he's a more recent commander. I don't think he's that old, like 40s, right? Or 50s? No, he's 77. So he is getting up there. The Torreses will be once more in charge of the UNE. They have not ruled since Solomon. Daily Naval Command. What would Angelo Torres' platform be? Probably just, I think he would run on like the competence of like his family name and history, right? He'd say that Bonanoxine is not done enough for us to go after other tyrannical regimes. He would probably, this is ethos. Let me see if I can find it real quickly. All this will depend on what his ethics are. I think he's a militarist, but I don't remember. He is. He's a xenophile. Okay. I will say that he probably would be against like the authoritarians of the UNS would want to do something about stopping that. And he would probably be campaigning on doing something more major about the Great Khan. I think those would be his big policy platforms. Versus Bonanoxine, who's also very militaristic and a commander, but much more on like the defensive side and kind of like preparing and stuff. Which she did do. We built up our defenses and the fleet has been reassembled besides that major disaster. So he'd have a lot more support given he wants to be much more activist within the galaxy and pursuing UNE policy. Newest York. Do we have it yet? I don't think so. I think the colony ship's probably still on its way. We didn't found that too long ago, so. Did it get built? I can't tell. So, not the construction ship. The game is starting to get pretty slow now in these years. It's one of the major downsides. I am gonna say, folks, I think we are starting to get close to the end here of the Grand Campaign in Stellaris. I do want to take it a bit longer because I think there will probably be like another big conflict or two, but we are starting to get close. When the Grand Campaign is done, by the way, I'm always going to keep streaming. We won't start the Grand Campaign 2 until the fall, which is a good ways off. I'd say probably around 6 months, actually. It'll be a good while. I'm going to be catching up and getting all the YouTube videos done and those sorts of things. But in the meantime, for streaming, I think I'm probably going to be involved in the Prometheus Roleplay CK3 Game of Thrones games, so I'll be playing in those, streaming that. And then I want to do a Vicky 3 campaign after the DLC comes out. We got a DLC coming out I think this month, isn't it? For Vicky 3, for Sphere of Influence. And I think I want to do a single player campaign of that as well and roleplay it. That'd be a lot of fun. And maybe just like some more casual Hoi 4 every now and then too. Have I ever played Suzerain? Hey Riss, that's funny you bring that up. That's one of the games I've been thinking about streaming, but I didn't know how interested y'all would be in it. It's an amazing game. I've done one playthrough of it. It's set in like a fictional world, fictional setting in kind of like the middle of the Cold War, basically. And you're gonna basically play like the elected president of a country, and kind of, it's a really well done game. It's really freaking fun. It's a bit more dialogue. It's a bit more slow though, so I just don't know how much folks would be interested in watching me stream it, but it is a really freaking fun game. And I had thought about doing a stream of it and a playthrough as well. Maybe this summer or a bit before. Oh, it's a, oh, Big Chef, nice. Yeah, no, it's a great game. Spawn the In Crisis. If I spawn the In Crisis, I'm a little worried that the galaxy doesn't have the fleet size to really deal with it, because I don't think the In Crisis, their fleet power is not based on like the galaxies. It's just subjective, isn't it? Unless I'm mistaken. Memetic overload proposal. For the past few months, our scientists have been hard at work analyzing the elusive Carcosa. This is the snipe hunt, remember? Patterns. Though the theory our researcher on Howard Prime developed was uniquely insightful, it was by no means comprehensive, and a lot of work is still required to fully understand the animal's abilities. Nevertheless, our scientists have had a recent breakthrough. Though we cannot stop the Carcosa from modifying its own characteristics, it cannot stop others from doing so either. Our top experts believe that we may be able to capture a specimen by using quantum computations to change it faster than it can change itself, and thereby stabilizing it in its observable form. The process is both highly experimental and resource intensive. Absolutely, let's do it. I want to see if this is actually a real thing or if we've just been chasing nothing. Half a year. Swap playlist 2. You don't need to worry about whether the galaxy has the fleet size to deal with the In Crisis if you have the fleet size yourself. That's true. But, I mean, how much does the In Crisis tend to spawn? You gotta remember, like, we're pretty deep in the game, but fleet sizes are not really that big. We can muster around 250 to 300,000, and we have one of the larger fleets in the galaxy. Not the largest, but close to. So, let me Google. How much does Crisis? Doubling it up with a Great Khan would be pretty funny. I set it on, I think, just the generic starting size as well. I know that. I'd randomize it, Salmon. For the Crisis. Be random. Yeah. Okay, so that's actually pretty doable. Like, it would be a challenge, it would be rough, but we could spawn the Crisis. And it would be not... It wouldn't be a slam dunk on either side, so that's actually doable. I won't do it today, but I might do it next week. Election is done. Yes, indeed. We have a new president, Angelo Torres. Another commander. We've had a string of those now since obviously Mendez stepped down. He is psionic. He is very prudent as a commander. He's a trickster. Xenophile, quite competent, level 4, and he is 78 years of age. Probably the grandson, great-grandson, or distant cousin of Solomon Torres. A member of the family, still all the same. Still very influential on Earth and within the colonies, like the Ficomons, the old monarchy families of Europe, or not Europe, of the world of Earth, are still very powerful and relevant. Oh, we can hire mercenaries from them. So he'll be coming in, like I said, with a differing agenda from Bond and Naqshin as a commander. He's still going to want us to, you know, be warlike, rebuild the battleship fleet, and build up our military. But he'd be looking for us to, like, as I said, intervene to stop the Khan, intervene to go after, like, the Shigodian Union and things like that. Really just dangerous entities that are very in conflict with our ideology. So, again, he'd be a very, what's the word? A bit of a moral crusader, so to speak, I think would be the best way to put it. So, let's see with our government if there's anyone we'd want to replace. The war form will stay. Our head of research is fine. Our governing inspector is fine. Minister of State. Head ambassador. We are going to replace and we're going to bring back Montelupo, who was the ambassador under Mendez and more fits the doctrine, I think. And obviously the old family connections are at play, so we'll bring back Vasila Montelupo. Can psionic people read non-psionic people's minds? Probably. I would say in the lore. I would imagine. They've never really talked too much about what psionics really is in Stellaris. There's no like just giant lore document, but I would think so. Can we attack the fortress? That's a good thing to bring up. You mean the enigmatic fortress, right? That'd be rough. Our shields would be completely non-existent in that system. Or is that still due to the solar storm? I think that's part of it too. Yeah, it is. We gotta wait for the solar storm to stop before we do any sort of fighting though, like period. There's that giant storm that's just swept across the galaxy and has made any sort of major travel dangerous to say the least, so we'll have to wait on that. But yeah, attacking the enigmatic fortress would be a good idea. And then I think I'm going to try and get us to start a war with the Shigodians. But if our Federation won't do it, we're going to be in a bit of a pickle there, honestly. We have the ability to also build up and upgrade our citadel for the Canton station where our fleet is being built. And then we're going to go for the Juggernaut after. Having that for attacking the enigmatic fortress is going to be very important. Mecha Imperium opened their borders to us. Nice. We have 6 out of 12 battleships back. Gotten a number of them rebuilt after that absolute disaster. Lost a lot of our destroyers too, my gosh. But we got the fleet exercise done, so I mean, there's always that, I guess. Scientists on Igni were surprised to register an immense solar superstorm bypassing the moon. The storm, a coronal mass injection, has apparently been missed by sensors until nearly striking the colony. Could have caused widespread and in many cases irreparable damage to the electrical infrastructure on Igni. Had an injection hit the world, who knows how many would have died in the ensuing chaos. Well, that's extremely lucky. Let's see if we can do anything with our sonic options, as well as giving our Torres leaders some better stats here. Let's see what they Foci. 63 charisma, 57 affair, 50 inspiration. Not the best leader, to be very honest. I'm gonna raise his inspire levels. Just max that out to start off with. And then for our idea points, he's militarist, but he's from the Torres family, so he has some diplomatic background, maybe even a little bit of economic, not too much though. We'll start with demagogue and give him something there, I think. That would make the most sense. Go power projection, fits his militarist background. He's got military contractor stuff already for the army, which doesn't make very much sense. So we'll do ship designer. I'm gonna wait for us to get the idea points to take this because it's very useful, so we're waiting on that. For his executive campaigns, Go for flyer education. We'll go for planetary growth if we can afford that as well. We can. And we have one more. Oh, we don't actually. We have 2 points. Okay, we'll go for those. And then let's look at our psionic menu too. Come on, YouTube. Okay. We'll activate some more leaders, I think. Leave it that way. Mariana Fernandez. Eager Knights. Nama against Sakurdia. We'll keep there. Just keep activating more leaders to become psionic. The stat increases they get in the competence levels, and the ability just to like cooperate with a government which is almost entirely psionic at this point would be pretty important. Our poor Warframe there, a little out of the mix. The recently colonized planet of Mars has slowly become very popular in the Empire. Galactic News continues to feature rave reports of an amazing new world where new colonists will live in paradise. Of course, fiction, but naive dreamers, sorry, from an idle life, believe it. And we'll go there. With Mars and Venus colonized now. Plenty of jobs, plenty of housing. You're gonna need a commander for the home fleets since John Torres died. We wouldn't use Angelo as well because he's a leader now. Go to Mariana Fernandez. For our main primary fleet, we'll use Sheik. She's our most competent at the moment. For our picket fleet, we'll keep Laura. Word that's fucked up, I can't say. And then for our cruiser fleet, we'll go for Imertnakshin. Where's the Draconis at? There it is, under Wilmoth. What's the population of Venus? I think 3. 4 people, so probably like a million or so, something like that. Souls. We're definitely getting into late game tech at this point, that's for sure. Equal Standing Act. Each pre-FTL civilization has the potential to acquire spaceflight and join the galactic community. As such, we must treat any future members with dignity. Yes. We're already voting for that. It is currently not winning, though. Empire of the Dying Sun has gotten a lot of voting power, and they are almost completely balancing off us at this point. The Cerosians are the 3rd. There's a pretty big like power difference in the galactic community between like us and the Dying Sun and then like everyone else pretty much. We actually got it. Carcosa captured. Success. As the quantum supercomputer hummed to life, it began changing every mention of the use of Carcosa to a pre-generated description at a rate of hundreds of millions of times per second, leaving absolutely no chance for the creature to adapt itself. What's more, just a few hours after the machine was turned on, a creature matching its generated description was secured in a remote rural area of Draconis. As far as our scientists can tell, the creature did not originate in our dimension or even our universe, but was somehow transported here by unknown means. Whether it hails from, it is place ruled by perception rather than physics, exploiting its supernatural abilities. When it was displaced, it gained a physical form but did not lose its original powers. We can learn much about the Carcosa, but it is unlikely that we'll be able to use its exotic aspects to the same degree it does. What should we focus on? We can use it to like change the perception of the galaxy towards us. That's a bit of a playing with fire option there. Using extra dimensional ability to perceive reality to reshape our image in the galactic community. I mean, you can't say no to that, can you? What does that do? Does it do anything? It might not. Huh. Or unless it was a... No? Huh. No idea. The demographics of Venus. Oh! Well, one of the Stegnosidenses found out what we did. So you captured a memetic being. We won't lie, we are rather surprised that a civilization as young as yours would have mastered the science of memetic manipulation. But once we learned of your catch, the revelation was a lot less impressive. Either way, we're not communicating with your nation for pleasantries and conversation. We're here to warn you. Our civilization and others like it are not ones to be manipulated by such primitive tools. And though this time we will simply block the effects of your scheming, oh, we will not be forgiving should you try a second time. So we got found out by one of like these stagnant ascendancies and they're pissed as fuck. That's unfortunate. What assholes. We're just trying to do like an interdimensional propaganda campaign. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. Any upgrades we can. Mendez has an upgrade yet again. Holy crap, she is ridiculous. We're at industry expertise, but I mean, we'll keep her going down statecraft. I think that makes the most sense. Yeah, she's governor of Luna Base now, by the way. It's basically just a cushy retirement situation for her. After her 5 decades of ruling the UNE, preceding... She was a scientist before that, too. A lot of dangerous jobs, including the one that gave her immortality, so she's deserved a little break, I would say. Deals with a lot of transit from Luna Base and the giant racing arena there. We did get Rapture. Let's go ahead and build our starting buildings for that. That's going to be gene clinics, robotic assembly plants. Good science world, actually. Yeah, why not? We'll turn this... Well, we're going to do something with Rapture. Does anyone remember, or is this kind of just whatever we wanted to do? I know there were a couple of our colonized planets I had plans for. It was the resort planet. Thank you so much. Create resort world. There we go. Beautiful. I'm just going to build this for roleplay then. Gene clinics, of course. We'll build 2 holo theaters, luxury residences. I will build robot assembly plants to build, like, obviously a worker force to keep the resort world fully stocked with laborers. We'll build a monument. And then we'll just build a bunch of resort districts. We'll distribute luxury goods. We'll ensure fast growth. We're gonna start the climate changing process to make the planet even more beautiful and enjoyable to live on. Cool. And let's send a governor there. This is a pretty important operation, all things considered. We could send Naksheen there. We could give her a retirement as well, a bit of a forced one. Now we'll send El Ghazal. No, she's very busy too, isn't she? We'll send Mendez. She's deserved a proper retirement. We'll send her to manage and build up the resort world. Resort worlds are actually good. The 15% modifier to your entire empire is super good. It gives an empire-wide bonus. I didn't know that. What's the Empire-wide bonus plan, see? I don't know it. I did see what you said, by the way. Create the GDF. The GDF would be great to build for the Galactic community, but I don't think we'd be able to pass it, to be very honest with you. It's a pretty hostile Galactic community at the moment. Very split. Migration pack with the Holy Viridian Republic. We'll decline that. Edis has an upgrade. I4 talent. We have to bring him back and put him in the government at some point, but he's still trying to pursue. Where's he at, actually? When he gets to the border, I'm going to make the AI let him go through their borders so we can actually get to the place he needs to go to. It's the one we pissed off. It'll be a little difficult. Which one was it? This one? Yeah. A lot of like general sites we can go after, but we don't own any of them. There's a lot of precursor expeditions. That's weird. I wonder if that's a bug or there's just meant to be a ton of them. You have no Cumnopolises? That is the tiny backbone of any like game regular empire. That's fair. But playing, see, this is like a pure roleplay game, so I'm only building like things that make sense for us. And you need to take an ascension perk for it, right? So I don't think we'll probably end up doing that. Newest York. I'm not doing that. That's too much of a meme, man. This is a roleplay game, so it's got to be semi-reasonable. We have Newest York already. That's about at the limit of what I'll do in a roleplay game. We didn't buy any slaves. Give them citizenship rights. We need a lot of workers right now. I'll do New Amsterdam for you. If you would like. That I can do. Or Xena we already named, actually. All these are named planets. You know what I'll name New Amsterdam? I'll name the habitat we're going to colonize for the Navy in the L cluster. We'll do that. I'm also going to build a shipyard on Niley Station and produce some more construction ships so we can really expand the habitats in that system. The team has made it into the ruins and have found it to be quite safe. Several small artifacts have so far been discovered along the route of the expeditionary team has taken. Trinkets, tools, but also small electronic devices. Cursory analysis reveals them to be 100,000 years old. The supplies of the team are running low, so they are returning to base camp while a second expedition is heading out. Nice. Oh, this is the precursor one. The Cerosians declared war on the Venarians. I can't even say their name. Venarians? Venarians? Holy Venarian. They like us a lot, actually. They're at war with the Slaver Gark and at war with the Cerosians. What the hell did they do? Zero-point reactor. Phase disruptor. They're up here in the north. Benign spirits, Theocratic Republic, Cooperative Fanatic Egalitarian Fanatic Spiritualists, Idealistic, Divine Circle, Functional Architecture. We like them quite a lot. They're an associate member of the Boki Warrior Clans Federation. The Boki made one as well. So there are 3 big federations now. Oh yeah, the Interstellar Military Block. That's unfortunate. We like them quite a lot, actually. So I had a commercial pact with them, just to help their war effort. They're too far away for us to, I think, explicitly declare war and get involved, but... tough to say. I have watched Star Wars, yes. What is the capital of the Galactic Republic? Oh, I'm very aware. I mean, Earth might slowly turn into one after a while, you know, but the way it works with like basically destroying the natural like planetary structure, right? Destroying anything that's left of nature just to turn it purely into like a city world. That'd be a pretty big decision. And I don't know if we'd really be willing to do that to Earth or any other planet. Maybe like a new one if we found like a capital explicitly to replace your own, like a Trantor, Coruscant kind of planet, but we would not turn any of our current ones into it, I don't think. We're not like explicitly environmentalists, but you know, I don't think we're the opposite of that either. You don't need an Ascension perk if you have a Relic World. So you can just turn a Relic World into an Acuna Monopolis? Planksy, is that how it works? Exploration of the epicenter of the Sense disturbances in Kaltenskili have led to the science team to do a massive underground military complex, derelict and abandoned a long time ago. It seems that the complex was completely dedicated to the production of weapons and war machines, drawing energy from the planetary mantle to fuel titanic alloy foundries, even to the detriment of the planet's crust and structure. Further analysis shows that the facility was sabotaged rather than abandoned, an event that may have sealed the destiny of life at the surface of this planet forever. Interesting to think of a nation so focused on war letting itself be the target of this sabotage maneuver in such a crucial facility. We already have advanced railguns, don't we? Let me check. I think we just got them. Yep, we already have those, so that's useless. Take the allies. And we're going to upgrade the fleet. The last of those battleship replacements, if we can. And then we'll have a little bit extra, which is always nice to have. Oh, okay. Do we have any Relic Worlds? Let me look. I'm also gonna go make some coffee in a minute. I'm very tired today. I have not gotten much sleep the last couple days. I've had a fairly good sleep schedule for quite a while, which has been very nice, but this week that luck has run out. Be 0%, right? Relic World. Doesn't look like we have any. Nope. No Relic Worlds, unfortunately. Yes. All right. I'm gonna run and grab some coffee real quick, folks, so I'm not falling asleep here. I do want to go for at least another hour or so, so I want to make sure that I'm not just absolutely dead. We'll be back in like 5 minutes. I'm back. We'll see if I make it to the 4 hours. Folks, I really want to go take a nap. Well, I had like 1 hour because I didn't think I was working like on Thursday and I got called in. And then I had like, I think 2 or 3 hours the night before. And then last night I got like 5, so. Oh! You know when your brain just starts like shutting down? It was weird. Like the job I'm doing now is substitute teaching, which I do really like a lot. It's a really fun job. Especially I mainly do it at one school, and like I know a lot of the kids there now, and they're cool. You know, they're cool with me, so they know I'm not an asshole. Like as long as you get your work done, I'm cool. If you want to talk, I'm happy. If you want help, I'm happy to help you. So I like it a lot. But the thing that sucks about the job is you kind of don't know when you're working a lot of the time. Like you'll accept jobs. You know, and advanced teachers will like give you jobs, you know, each other. There's a couple who will just give me stuff because they like me and stuff, but a lot you kind of have to pick up. Almost like it's kind of like I did a lot of DoorDash in the past. It's very similar to that. Like you just pick up shifts kind of thing. But you'll find out very last minute too, because like I have to wake up at 5:30 a.m. to get ready and then go. And then that's also usually when you find out if you have a job if you don't already have one. Sometimes you'll get to like decide in advance, but usually you don't. So it's a really weird thing where like I'll wake up at 5 some mornings and, you know, I'll work or I won't. It pays good enough and it's a nice enough job. I will do it. I hate mornings, but sometimes you get like emergency calls and stuff. And that's what happened on Thursday. I wasn't planning to work because I had something I needed to do. And I got like, there was multiple tornadoes hit Ohio, actually. There were a couple tornadoes that hit the area I live in and really fucked up some houses and stuff. And one of the teachers I kind of know from someone, her sister's house got like really screwed by the tornado and she had to go last minute and the emergency called me in. I had 1 hour of sleep, so it wasn't fun, but I didn't want to not do that. Adjusting to the schedule is kind of weird. I've never been a morning person. I know about y'all, but like for me, I just don't function in the mornings. There are people, and maybe this is true, who say that they can adapt to like early mornings and they can do just fine. I hope that's true for them. Personally, I can't. I don't do mornings well, you know. And it's funny because I don't know why schools start so early. Like substitute teaching, you find out really quickly. Bioweapons. Children don't learn in school until around 9:30 a.m. if you're lucky. Usually around 10 a.m. They don't learn before that. They don't. They're forced to be in the school really early. The schools I substituted at, they start school at 7:30 in the morning, and it's a joke. No one is awake. No one is learning. No one. Not a single person. All those kids are fucking sleeping or want to be asleep. They don't listen, which I don't give a fuck because it's like, yeah, this is ridiculous. But teachers are the same way. They're all like barely awake as well. It's such a weird thing. Early mornings like that, you're not meant to do that. Humans aren't. It's not part of our natural sleep cycle. So it's very weird. But like I said, I like the job enough and it's chill and it's really enjoyable. I get to read so much. The amount of books I've gotten through in like the last couple months is just crazy. You can't see it because it's not the camera frame, but there's just like stacks of books over there. Stacks. And I've read through like most of them. Because with that job, I mean, I got to do some teaching and do some stuff with the kids, but a lot of the time it's just I'm reading and making sure they're not murdering each other, which is fine. So I'm willing to tolerate the fucking 5:30 get up time. Oh, New Vegas looks really nice. All right, did we get that star shipyard built? Almost. I'm gonna build a couple more construction ships and we're gonna expand the habitat modules quicker and naily, I think. My school used to start at 8:15, but it had like a 45-minute assembly for the year that they've moved first period. So now I know you'd be up for that. That's gross. 8:30 is like the lowest the school should be starting, in my opinion. My school I went to in California that I graduated in, I went to 2 high schools growing up. 3 if you count homeschooled. I was homeschooled freshman year. I went to 1 high school my sophomore year, and I went to my 2 final years in another big high school. And they both started, I think, around like 8:15 or like 8:30, which was already really early, but like it's a bit better. Kids could learn a bit better. It's my opinion that school shouldn't start until 9 or 9:30 at the earliest, if you really want kids to learn in those early classes. I remember when I was in high school, and I now see it while I'm substitute teaching. There's no point to have a class that early. It's just a waste. It looks good on paper. We get them going bright and early in the morning. No, you don't. They're just sitting there dying. Corruption scandal. Reports have reached the public that 2 prominent uni officials have been engaged in corrupt activities. We haven't seen this quite a while since Yusuf Bilal. It seems that they have been channeling large portions of the department and government budgets into their own pockets, and from there into off-world asteroid tax havens, costing the state millions. There's widespread outrage at this revolution, and troublemakers are quick to accuse those pointing them of collusion. The War Forum? The War Forum has been siphoning government money? I'm sorry, what? That is the funniest shit ever. Ladies and gentlemen, our Minister of Defense, S875.1 War Forum, recovered from an ancient battlefield and one of the most competent ministers to have administered the UNE in the last 100 years, has been siphoning money from his government budget and putting it in asteroid tax havens. That is equally hilarious and disappointing. He's a robot. What does he need funds for? That's what I'm saying. What is he using this money for? I'm gonna make this a poll. That's a tough one. He's our most competent government minister by a long shot here. So I'll do a poll. Also, folks, I think I'm gonna stop after this poll. I really do need to take a nap or something. I am so fucking tired. You know that feeling when you get like so tired, like you just get like, I don't know how to describe it, like a tingling in like your body. I've got that, so I need to go nap. We're gonna end here for the day. I think next week when we come back, next Saturday when we do like a full proper grand campaign session, I'm probably gonna spawn the Crisis. I was looking at the numbers and I think the Galaxy can maybe handle it. It'll be rough, but it is doable. So I think we are starting to get towards the end of the grand campaign. I think next week I'm gonna spawn the Crisis. We'll deal with, we'll fight that, and wherever that goes, we'll kind of get to an end point. I love this grand campaign so much. It's been so amazing, you know, getting all this way, but I'm getting to the point I'm about ready for it to be done. I like Stellaris, but we've played a lot of it, and the lag is starting to get pretty bad and things like that. So I think we'll do the Crisis next Saturday, and then we'll probably go maybe another section or two after that to end the Crisis, and I think we'll probably end this grand campaign. Long time. It'll have gone for a little over a year and a half. We'll start the next one in the fall in around 6 months, and until then I want to do some campaigns of, as I said, Vic 3 when there's the new DLC. I want to do some CK3 roleplay with Prometheus. I want to do some Boy 4 just kind of for casual stuff. I want to start mixing it up a bit more. So just a heads up on that going forward for the streams and stuff like that. I am going to probably just keep streaming 1 day a week though. I don't at present have time for more. I put all my forms in like to go to college in the fall as well, and my financial aid and stuff. So I think even going to school and working and all that, I should still be able to stream once a week perfectly fine and still make YouTube videos. YouTube videos will be much less consistent, kind of more how they have been. I think this is kind of going to be the norm for now on. It won't be every weekend, but every other week at least there should be a video. I'm going to try and get the other grand campaign episode done that was supposed to come out today, tomorrow. I didn't have time to finish it yesterday, which will be fun. I'm experimenting more of After Effects, actually. It's come out pretty nice. But just kind of a general state of affairs. Grand Campaign's kind of dominated my streaming and all that kind of stuff for quite a while now, so just to kind of lay out where things are going. How's that poll looking? Equal. Let them stay and fire and prosecute are tied. Yeah, also a note on that. That brings up another thing I should probably mention here. So for the next grand campaign starting to fall, I'm probably going to be streaming all of that only on YouTube. I've thought about going multi-platform and streaming to Twitch and YouTube, but I don't really want to do that. It gets kind of annoying. I'm going to keep streaming on Twitch through the summer until the fall, But once I start the new Grand Campaign, I'm probably going to stream on YouTube, and I probably won't keep streaming on Twitch. So just a heads up on that as well. That'll be a big change. YouTube for streaming is not quite as good as everything else, but I don't know. I've been thinking about it, and there's not many reasons to stay on Twitch, frankly, overall. Like, their recent changes are just more regression and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of Amazon, the brand, to begin with. Not that Google's much better, but there'll be a little while before that happens, so that's another thing. There will be VODs, there'll be streams, which will be streamed on YouTube and will stay there, and then I'll be doing edited videos, but they'll take a while to come out. On clone or main, that is a tougher. I haven't decided that. Probably on the clone. Probably. Otherwise, I think it'll fuck up the algorithm even more on my main channel, which it doesn't need. It is tied. We are going to keep their services. We'll go with that. So, all right, we'll end here for the day. I want to go fucking sleep, and that would be very nice. So, we'll continue next Saturday. We are going to do the Crisis. Probably, I'd say 2 or 3 more Grand Campaign sessions, folks, and then it will be over. It's fucking crazy. It's gone on for so long now. And then I think the campaign I will probably play it after that on Saturdays. I may play the Game of Thrones Prometheus campaign. I think probably if I get a Blackfire or, I come in as a rebel, I think we'll play that. I'm going to do a Victoria 3 campaign when the DLC comes out for Sphere of Influence. That'll be a full roleplay one. I'll play that out for a while. Maybe multiplayer, probably not though. And then a bunch of probably Hoi 4 streams headed towards the summer. I want to do something interesting this summer as well, but I haven't decided what that's going to be. There's a couple of multiplayer games I want to host as well. Just kind of one-offs. So we'll probably do those as well. And then once fall starts, to clarify when exactly I want to start the next Grand Campaign, just so you guys understand. I want it to be after the next 2 DLCs drop. So the Unlanded play, and then obviously Plague DLC is coming out, or already did. But I want the Unlanded character playing DLC to be out, and then I want like a lot of the big mods I like to play with to be updated. So I would estimate probably the end of August, we're going to start the second Grand Campaign, which again is going to be a Britain start. That'll be with the Broken Eagle. What's the name of the campaign? My brain's not working right now. 1 second. Need jumpstart cables. Fallen Eagle, my gosh. It'll be in the Fallen Eagle mod. I'll have a bunch of our mods on as well. We're going to do the 76 start right after the fall of Western Rome. We are going to be playing the historical individual who is thought to have been King Arthur. He's not. I won't treat him as such. It will be not like obviously just pure King Arthur, but it will be kind of like in that realm. We'll be fighting the Anglo-Saxon invaders and things like that, and we'll play that. So, yep, yeah, Rome is gone. So that's something to really look forward to. I'm really excited for that. The other thing also for the second Grand Campaign, this Grand Campaign for like editing YouTube videos, like I really try to keep it like once a week and edit them very quickly, which I've not done for several months for a lot of different reasons, and it will probably not be that way until I'm done with the first Grand Campaign, just time-wise. And I've improved a lot in editing, but I want to take more time to have higher quality, which I just haven't been able to kind of let myself do. I also should have the money to actually hire an editor for the second Grand Campaign to help me, which will, I think, be a lot for quality. So the way that will work, I've mentioned it before, I'll mention it again. You're not going to see those videos on my main channel for probably a good while, 6 months to a year after they basically start. So like, I'll start streaming, you'll see the VODs in probably the end of August, fall of this year. That'll be a weekly thing for the most part for the Grand Campaign too. You'll see those, but don't expect main channel edited videos probably until at the very least spring, maybe the next summer. Because the way I want to do that is make them really, really detailed, really edited, and I'm going to release them in like groups. So heads up on that as well. But yeah, I think that covers just about everything. Religion and culture is going to be probably like early Christian, and then our culture is going to be Roman. So I don't expect to keep it that way. But for the character we're playing, it makes the most sense. That's the current state of things for streaming, content creation, all that kind of stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed the Game of Thrones roleplay today. Mainly just listening to other people and the Grand Campaign. I will see you all next week. Have a very good week.